I don't know. You think? I mean, Nintendo's in a weird position right now because the Switch is coming out soon, really soon. Their last piece of hardware was a big failure, and now their Switch is direct competitor with the iPhone and Android phones. They're putting out
Switches.
The Switches, yeah.
See, again, this is where I will continue to disagree with you. Nintendo's biggest competition has always been Nintendo. So what they're trying to do is cut out their own competition by creating one console that serves for the home market and the portable market.
Right.
The selling point that Nintendo will always have over both of these things is the Nintendo properties, which, as you can see by just having one Mario game on an iPhone, it got a lot of downloads in a very short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more value to any single Nintendo superstar than the iPhone as competition.
What? The iPhone,
the Nintendo properties.
Yes, of course. But look,
Nintendo IPs have more value than saying that their competition is iPhone and Android. I think that.
But you need a platform to sell them on. You can't just materialize a product. And sell it.
But the games will sell the platform if the games are there and if the games are good. If they have enough games,
it's not entirely true. The Wii U has games and it had good games. And
they came out too far between. Took too long for the good games, the good launch games to come out. There weren't really any, and the games that people wanted were too few and far between. Where's the Zelda game for the Wii U? A proper Zelda game. How long? I mean, there was the one, Super Mario Brothers game that came out, but there was only one. That's not enough.
Two.
Was there two? See, I don't even know there was two.
You don't. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there was the one that
you don't
had
have
the
a Wii U. You didn't bother to buy a Wii U. You don't know that it has.
There was new Super Mario Brothers
games.
and new Super Mario Brothers with Luigi, which was an add-on. What was the other one?
Mario Maker.
That's not a traditional Super Mario Brothers side-scrolling game.
It very much is.
It's the same thing. You're saying that Mario Maker is a traditional Super Mario Brothers side-scroller.
Yes, you are playing a side-scrolling Mario game.
That's not how that game was marketed or sold.
I just don't. You don't.
I don't think that counts as two. I think that you're grasping at straws. They did not have enough of the marquee games that people wanted.
They had Super Mario
Wii U.
3D World. They had 3 Mario games on Wii U. I'm looking at them right now on my shelf. You just don't have a Wii U, so you don't realize that the Nintendo games were there. You just didn't buy it.
No one bought it, and no one bought the games.
Who's going to buy the Switch? What are you competing against?
If they have a Mario game, a Zelda game, a Metroid game available in the first year, they'll have more sales than they did of the Wii U, which had no Metroid games, no Zelda games.
They're not going to have a Metroid game.
A 3D Mario game and one 2D Mario game, and then a Minecraft wannabe Mario game. I mean, it just isn't. It wasn't there. The software was not there for the Wii U, and it wasn't there fast enough, and there wasn't enough of it in the first 2 years of the console.
I don't think the software is the problem on the Wii U.
I think the software is there now, but it wasn't there in the first 2 years. It took a long time for them to get software out, and they were releasing this software in Japan a year ahead than they were releasing it here. So Nintendo diehards were getting frustrated because they weren't playing the games that they saw.
I think
coming
you're just
out.
pulling stuff out of your ass.
It's not. I'm not. Pikmin. How long did it take Pikmin to come out here before it came out in Japan?
Pikmin is not a game that sells systems. It never has.
No, but it's a game that people who have the console want to buy. People stop buying games.
Oh, I don't even know why we're arguing over this. You never bought a Wii U.
I know, because there was never a reason to.
What's your reason for buying a Switch?
I'm not.
Exactly.
Because the Switch doesn't exist. The Switch doesn't exist. We're still talking about a phantom console that has no known specs, no known price,
it's all out there,
no known release date, and no known software. The Switch is a non-existent
3
console.
weeks from now, we will know all of that, and I want to know why you're not buying a Switch.
When we know,
You have 3
when we
weeks
know
to formulate your answer.
I was gonna say I can't tell you why I'm not buying a console that has no specifics.
3 weeks. You have 3 weeks.
That's fine, but I stand by my Mario Maker statement.
You don't even know that there was 3 Mario games.
I do.
That's not even counting the Paper Mario games either.
Well, I was considering the 3D ones and the 2D ones as two separate genres. Same as I would say Mario parties are not the same as Super Mario Brothers.
Oh my god.
As would be Mario Kart or Paper Mario.
Hey, all these games on the Wii U.
Lots of games on the Wii U that are not good enough. It just wasn't enough.
But
Well,
these
you
are
have
the
to
same
ask.
games that you're saying are what they need to make to make.
I say they need
the
to make
Switch.
more of them.
And make them quicker, is what you're saying.
And make them quicker. Yes, they need to make more, and they need to make them quicker. One traditional.
You know what Nintendo's great
New
at?
Super Mario
Making
Brothers
stuff and
U
making
game
it quick.
that was released in. They released New Super Mario Brothers U in 2012, and it's now 2016. There should have been a New Super Mario Brothers U2, and it should have started.
That turned into
Bono, I
Mario
guess.
Maker.
But that's not the same thing. It's not even kind
Mario
of the
Maker's
same
more
thing.
ambitious than New Super Mario Brothers 3.
That's what they needed. They needed to make games that were more ambitious. They needed to up the ante with the software. And
Mario
they needed
Maker
to
is
have-
more ambitious than New Super Mario Brothers 3. That's what I just
but
said.
it's because it's a completely different game. It is not a traditional Mario Brothers game. It was never marketed that way. I've never seen any footage of it that would lead me to believe that this is a traditional side scroller. Everything I've ever seen about it is it's a hand with a stylus putting chompers
You've
down.
never seen
and
any videos
Bowsers.
of anybody playing this game.
Huh? Yeah, and it's just people making levels or people playing levels that people made. But it's not a straight ahead game. It's not you start the game and go rescue the princess.
It's an infinitely number of Mario levels in a game.
That are all user generated. I don't want user generated. It's again, exactly. It is not a traditional Mario game. It is not a Super Mario Brothers game that would be considered in the genre of the 2D platformer like every other new Super Mario Brothers game or the original NES trilogy. It is not. You cannot say that Mario Maker is part of that. That's ridiculous.
This is very
Ridiculous.
controversial. I don't think I care enough to weigh in on my opinion.
It sold 3.73 million copies.
I'm not saying I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm not saying it didn't sell. I'm just saying it's not the same genre. You can't say that it's another version of that game.
I can say that it's in the same vein as the other Marios. I have a clear conscience saying that.
Fine, if whatever makes you happy.
Wombat, buy a Wii and buy all these games and get back to us.
Well, I can't. If I bought a Wii to play these games, I'd be very disappointed.
Wii U, whatever. You know what I meant.
Nope.
Is the Switch going to solve any of those problems? You say only if they put out an un-Nintendo-like quantity of games in an un-Nintendo amount of time.
Like period of time, because that's I think has been their biggest problem.
I don't know. Like, I don't know that the portable market is really there for them like it was before. And I've been reading, so like Digital Foundry put out an article about the Switch, about the rumors of how it works as a portable system and the changes that happens when you plug it into the dock. And basically, I feel like we might have guessed this on the CAGCast like several weeks ago. But did we talk about developers having to make 2 versions of the games for Switch?
I think we said that they better not have to make 2 versions of the same game for the Switch.
This is probably when you thought that you also said that thing was going to be as powerful as an Xbox One.
Who said that?
You did. You said something along those lines.
I don't know if I said that.
Well, it turns out that they're going to have, that's what they liken it to. They're going to be making 2 versions of the game. One for the portable mode, which is running at 720p and a slower clock speed, slower everything to maintain battery life. And because you're running at a lower resolution. And then they're making a separate 1080p version of the game or a docked version of the game. it may not be running at 1080p. Who knows? Because it turns out that I guess it's basically like an NVIDIA Shield, but it's running at lower speed. Like it's clocked down overall. So it's definitely less powerful than a PS4, and it sounds like it's less powerful than an Xbox One. So I don't know. It's it's not like exciting news, I guess, for Switch hopefuls. But I think the bigger problem is really that I've said it a million times, that article about the last blockbuster syndrome, that just portable games as we remember them with dedicated Nintendo consoles are just leaving in favor of, like Shipwreck was saying, gamers expect these, free-to-play games or, Smurfberries. People are expecting Smurfberries. They're not expecting to pay $60 or $10 for like a home console type game on the go. And I think that may be the bigger problem that the Switch faces. Not the clock.
It'll still make them plenty of money.
Yeah, people will still buy it. There's millions of people who will buy whatever.
It's a niche market now for Nintendo.
Right. It's not raining it's not a tsunami of cash like it was back in the 3DS, the DS glory days and GBA. I mean, it's just, everybody's got a computer in their pocket now. Not everybody needs two. That's their biggest problem, I feel. Anything else for Nintendo? Who bought Ratchet and Clank?
I did. For $10. We had this conversation. I went to Target to price match and they wouldn't let me.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Have you played it?
Huh?
Have you played it at all?
Yeah, I played a lot of it.
It's pretty gorgeous, huh?
It is a very good game. I didn't know you had it. You have it?
Yeah, I bought it.
We both have it. We talked about it back when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Oh, came out a while back. I got it for $10.
I paid more.
It's worth $10. That game is worth $10.
It's optimized for PS4 Pro as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I bet it looks great. Have you tried it?
Yeah. I mean, it already looks ridiculous, so it's sort of hard to tell. But yeah, I mean, it looks great. It looks great.
That's a good game. It is a lot of fun. It is very much Ratchet and Clank. If you are still able to find it for $10 and you have an opportunity to get it, you should go get it.
Yeah, for sure. What else we got here? Anything else?
And yeah, I'm just looking through the Wii U library, and it's not the best, especially that first year.
Oh, it was very slow to get games for sure, and people kept saying, everyone's like, "Don't worry, the games are coming, and I guess they did come eventually, but it was
Too late.
It was a drip, not a torrent.
Exactly. So I guess that's the point I'm trying to make.
And do you think maybe now that Nintendo has got literally all their eggs in one basket with the Switch,
that maybe we'll get the torrent and not the drip.
But for third parties, it's still going to be a drip. I mean,
I think in the first 2 years of the console, they had new Super Mario Brothers U as far as, premier titles. And that was the first year. That was November after release. Then the Luigi that came out June 2013. So almost a full year later to get the add-on. And does Game & Wario count? Pikmin
It's a game, but I don't think that's a
marquee. Yeah. Then you had Pikmin 3 that August. So almost 2 years after release, you have two first-party games.
What you had Super Mario 3D World in 2013,
but I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm still in August of 2013.
You had Wind Waker HD.
Yeah, but that's a remaster of a game that a lot of people played.
You love it.
I do love that game. New Super Mario Brother World 3D came out in November of 2013. So it's So now, if you own that console and you've had it for 2 years, you might have 3 games.
Oh, you probably bought that Batman game with it at launch too.
And Mass Effect 3. Own it already.
Mass Effect 3. You were really looking to
I'm
wait
saying
to play
the first 3 years of that console. I mean, in year 3 you had Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. and Mario Kart 8. That's a big one. So there you go. Now you have. And that's I think that's basically it for that year, unless you're counting Bayonetta 2. That would have been the fall release.
Definitely, people wanted to hear a postmortem on the Wii U for the last show of the year.
I'm just saying, it took them a long time to get their act together.
Yes, I agree. I don't think anybody would argue with that.
All right, Shipwreck did for like 10 minutes.
He didn't say that.
No, I'm just saying it is.
I said that they need to have.
They were slow. They were slow as
Yeah.
shit getting games out for the Wii U.
They were.
And yeah.
Yeah.
What
And they need to do it faster in order for the Switch to be successful. And if they could pull that off, the console, I think, does stand a chance of being a hit. And once we know anything about it.
Well, we know everything about it already. What are
We
you
know
talking about?
nothing.
We know everything. It's going to be $300 and it's coming out in March, and we know all the we know all the specs. We don't know like launch titles.
What are the launch titles? That's the most important.
Zelda.
The new Zelda game, which they keep saying I think isn't going to be a launch title. And what else? Or
I
is
got
that all
it.
you need?
Super Mario Run Remaster.
Ugh.
Home Edition.
New Super Mario Brothers Switch Maker.
Super Mario Run Maker.
That could work.
Yeah, it could work. I don't think it's going to sell Switches. I don't know. Nintendo's going to Nintendo, and it's best not to think about it too much. Otherwise, you get a headache.